What's up, everybody? Coach Mills here, coming at you with a brand new Overwatch video. And in this video, we're going to be breaking down a silver Roadhog who thinks he deserves a higher rank. Now, that being said, let's point out a lot of the things he's doing right and wrong so that we can give you actionable tips about how to carry yourself out of elo hell on tank. And if you want to know more, go to the GameLeap website because we have in-depth VOD reviews over every single character in the entire game in the links down below. But without further ado, let's jump into this VOD review. So right off the bat, let me point out some things that you need to notice as the Roadhog right here. You need to notice up against the enemy team composition. So a lot of the characters on the enemy team composition, you don't really care about that much. However, there are a few that you need to keep note of. The first one is McCree. He does have a stun that can stop your breather. That's important because he can always just one-shot you if you're low enough, or he can stop your breather if you get too close. So he's someone to look out for, even though he's a really easy hook target, someone that you can one-shot. D.Va can mess up your hook combo because she has a defense matrix. However, a lot of times D.Vas don't even do this at the lower ranks, but it's something to keep in mind. And Ana is your #1 counter in the entire game because she can sleep you, which the whole team can focus fire you before you can even get out. And then, of course, the nade shuts down your breather. So those are things that you should really keep in mind. However, when the Mora doesn't have fade, she's a really easy kill. The Hanzo, you can literally alpha up on and kill him as well, especially if he doesn't have cooldowns to run away. And this Wrecking Ball, you're one of the few characters in the game that can actually keep him in check. So those are just important things that I should point out right off the bat. So let's see how you take this first engagement. Okay. Okay, right off the bat. The hooks on Wrecking Ball are some of the easiest hooks to hit, and you should try to hit them fairly consistently. You don't need to hit them so quickly. You don't need to like rush them and just, you know, throw your hooks into the wall. And I feel like that's going to happen a lot in this game because a lot of times in low ranks, Roadhogs have a very low hook percentage connection. So maybe I'm wrong, but we're going to wait and see. Okay, you have another hook, so you should just be trying to convert on one of these hooks. Let's see what you actually try to do with it. Once again, you got booped away, and you still use that hook, and you didn't connect with it for the second time already. It's really, really important that you connect with these hooks, especially if you're hooking like this big target. It should be pretty simple hooks. Honestly, hooking Hammonds have mixed results, especially if you don't have a lot of focus fire. I mean, you don't have that much, you don't have any other CC. I mean, you have Junkrat CC, but you don't have any like stuns or anything else to help you focus down this Hammond, even if you do hook him, but you're not even hitting your hooks. So there's no way that this Hammond is gonna die. I mean, look at his HP. He's just like, he's vibing. He's untouchable right now. No connected hooks. And you're focusing a lot on this guy, and honestly, that's probably not going to work out for you as a team. With a team composition, like, I will say there are exceptions. Some team compositions with, like, Brig, Discord, or you got, like, a McCree and a Roadhog. You hook him, you stun him, you force him out, or you can just kill him right there. But against, like, with your team composition, you should really be trying to get a value hook on some of the targets that we talked about. McCree, you can one-shot Ana if you catch her by surprise. Mora's very easy, and Hanzo are very easy targets. So if you get some hooks on those characters and then you leave this Wrecking Ball alone, that can be a way to like actually definitively kill him because you're just wasting all your time doing essentially what amounts to nothing in the team fight. You have another hook on cooldown, so you just threw it out again. This is 3 hooks. You said in the message that you sent that you think you deserve a higher rank and that you think your team are part of the problem. And I'm sure there are a lot of hooks that you do hit. I'm not going to say you miss every hook, but so far in this fight, you've missed all 3 hooks that you've thrown. It's really important to just take your time a little bit. Just take your time. You don't have to just throw your hooks out all the time, but it's an 8-second cooldown. You want to make sure that at the very least you track your target, you give yourself the best chance of hitting these hooks, and that's going to help you a lot get the value that you want to carry these fights. Okay, that guy's very weak. Looks like you might be able to finish him off. Okay, nice. You finished him off. Okay, you can hook this D.Va even though she's DMing because you're not going to do anything just spamming all your ammo into her DM. But you hook her, shoot melee, and you should be able to demech her here. Okay, you're not gonna do that. You're going, so this is something that's a problem. So I like how you back up and use your healer. That's fine. You get your ult charge, you use your breather, you get your ult charge, all that stuff. But you're re-engaging when you only have one bullet. That's a problem, because if you don't kill the target right away, you're not gonna have follow-up bullets. You're gonna have to reload, and you're also just re-peeking this angle without reloading. It's when you do the breather, you can go back, do the breather, reload, then re-engage with your hook, and that's like the cycle that you go in every single time. You do finally hit your first hook. It's gonna kill the Hanzo. Probably not necessary to hit, but it's fine. Okay, now the D.Va's dead. I know for a fact your team isn't gonna do this, but when you've won a team fight like this, you don't have to kill this D.Va. You can stagger her out. If she wants to fight y'all and get her mech back, you kill her mech again, and then she feeds again, or she tries to go back to her team, kills herself, whatever the case may be. You get time on that clock. Y'all are probably just gonna kill her right away. Or maybe you are gonna stagger her. No, you're not. Okay, so the slam comes down. Okay, so when you get slammed by a Hammond, it's very predictable where you are going to be relative to him every single time. So that's a hook that you should never, ever miss. It is literally like hooking a robot that's moving in a straight line, because the slam comes down and you come up and he is stationary for a momentary lapse, and you know where you're going to end up. So very easy, very consistent hook, and it's, yeah, every single time, and you kind of just threw it out there again. You really like to just throw this hook out there without really any thought to it. But I think your hook accuracy probably over the course of this game is gonna be like 10% or something crazy low. And you don't have to hit like every single hook in the game, but you're just not connecting on even these super easy hooks. Okay, you got slapped, that's fine. So yeah, like what I would like to see you do here. So well, right now you probably need to back up for a second, but you could honestly hook this Hanzo, kill him, and then back up with your breather. But you're not going for a hook here. I mean, this is fine. So you're going into these mines. Okay, you get the beat, and you're just gonna walk. You're look at your health. You had beat, and now you're just like. You didn't have to do this. You didn't have to clear these mines. Like, I get the value in clearing mines, but the Mora was half. The Hanzo was very weak. You still have your hook. You just wrap around to the left side, and you might be able to kill everybody, especially when you have full health. But instead, you just, like, walk straight through all these mines. Okay, so you're re-peeking the enemy team when you're low. And, yeah, you're not even going to throw a hook here, and you're going to back off. So, you effectively did nothing there. Like, you went in. You weren't ready to go in if you're just going to back off if you get a tiny bit of damage into you. Okay, so you did... It looked like you were actually trying to hook the Hanzo, but you hooked the D.Va instead. And you're at 90 HP with no breather, no hook, and you engaged... So, well, you used your hook to engage, but you were very weak when you did this in the first place. Let's go back through this motion again. So yeah, like I said, I hear the Mora in my ear. You could turn and kill her, but instead you go in for this hook. So you get headshotted by the Hanzo. But so you're going in and trying to engage this team, and so okay, so you do get headshotted by the Hanzo. That's fine. But you invest your HOG? I mean, maybe if you're swapping, but that's still really loose. Like, there's very little chance that you kill anything there. Very bad use of an ultimate. In fact, HOG is so important against the enemy team composition for the exact thing I was talking about before. This Wrecking Ball is very hard for your team composition to deal with. Unless he gets hit by, like, a trap by your Junkrat or something, he's nearly impossible for your team composition to deal with in the beginning of the fight. Like, you can deal with him after the enemy loses members, but in the early stages of the fight, he's gonna go down to like half even if you hook him, and he's gonna be able to run away. But the thing that you can do is you can literally just solo HOG him. He comes into your team, you hook him against a wall, and you just HOG him and you kill him, and you get that intro pick. They don't have a main tank anymore. Y'all just push in and y'all just win the team fight. Very easy way to win the team fight. So wasting this when it doesn't make any sense to is actually a really big deal. So the enemy finally got the point back. I don't even know how y'all got the point to begin with. Threw another hook out. Just crazy random hook use. Like, no, you need to slow it down, man. You really need to slow it down. Just trying to force through every... Yeah, you see somebody and then they leave your LOS, or you're like trying to just force through like these God 6 style hooks. Like, you don't need to do that. Slow and steady and make sure they hit every single time. You can speed up your hook speed later, but just make sure you're hitting these easy hooks. Make sure you're taking your time a little bit. And in this downtime, reload. You're walking. Reload. No, too late. Like I knew you had ammo. You had 4 shots, but whenever you're transitioning, that is when you should be reloading all the time. When you're not fighting enemies, just reload. There's no downside. It's all about APM, actions per minute. So you want to make sure that you're really efficient in your downtime. And with Roadhog, it's a lot of times you're just like in this waiting period where you're trying to get your cooldowns back, like your hook and your breather, before you re-engage. Sometimes you can even, like if you're really weak, you could take a breather, still not engage, and then take another breather, still not engage, and then engage when your breather's off. That's like a really slowed down type of engagement, but sometimes that is actually the proper way, especially if you're waiting for some teammates to regroup. But in every downtime, you should be reloading. Okay, so you're reloading here. So let's see if you hit a hook. You got a hook on the Hanzo, gets booped away. See, that is fine. When that happens, some of that stuff is unavoidable. Sometimes your hooks are gonna get messed up, and that is fine. However, I'm glad that you hit a hook. Okay, so you have your breather, you're gonna get away. That's fine. Yeah, that's good. Just by making them use all that. Okay, nice. You hit a hook on the wrecking ball. And the wrecking ball should die. Nice. Good. Nice. Yeah, just... Okay. So I think I've seen everything I need to see in this video. So I think I would boil it down to... I mean, there's a couple of big mistakes, but it's really obvious that you're just throwing hooks out without like any thought to trying to make them consistent. Very important that you up that. Even... I mean, you're just not being effective at the character at this point. You're really not. And I know that you can... I mean, you're still aiming decently well. I don't know if it's because you're just throwing them out and just really just trying to flick to them, but you can slowly track a target, especially big targets, and when you're in those fixed movements like getting slammed, the hook should be really easy. The next thing that you need to think about is just make sure that you're engaging with your cooldowns. Make sure you're peeking enemies when you have enough health to take some damage and pull off a hook play. Play off your hook and breather cooldowns. Don't peek enemies when you don't have them. Don't peek enemies when you're low, and don't waste your ultimate when you're probably just going to instantly die. And all in all, I think that those are some big things that you can work on right off the bat and just gonna have way more impact on the character, because this is really just there's just a lot of problems here, and it's definitely, I mean, just straight up with you, it's definitely not your teammates. That's not the reason that you're in this rank. In fact, Roadhog in particular is a type of character that can literally hard carry these games. In my opinion, he has the singular most impact out of any character when you're talking about the low SR. Bronze, silver, and the bottom tier of gold. Roadhog can carry, like, I'm going to say most games he can carry. Maybe like 70% of games. You might not believe me, but I'm serious. He has everything you need. The ability to kill characters, threaten DPS. He's self-sufficient, doesn't need anybody. He has the entire package. So work on all these things. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. And if any of you want to know more in-depth VODs and you want to see more in-depth VODs, do yourself a favor. Go check out the GameLeap website in the links down below for in-depth VODs, tips and tricks, character guides, and much more. Do yourself a favor. Go check it out. But thank you so much for coming by. Please leave your codes in the description. I want competitive games only. I want some snarky comment to me saying that you deserve, you know, some higher rank or whatever the case may be. I want your hero. I want your in-game name. If someone sends me a code that doesn't have the in-game name, I'm going to lose it, because I see your name, your YouTube comment name, but I do not see the, like, I can't just guess out of all these characters which player you are if you don't tell me your name. And then just some comments from me. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for coming by. That's all I got for you today. I'm Coach Mills, and of course, until next time.